We see so much more in terms of his relationship with Claudia, and we understand the love that genuinely exists there, and the fact that she was a child to him. And we get to see in that final episode the impact of having watched her die on stage in that moment as well. And when he was turning her for Louis, he has that whole conversation about all the things that she's going to become and why it's a terrible idea. And did you think also that with him being the one to turn her, that some of it becomes a fear of, she's going to be like me in all these ways that I detest in myself as well?
Yes, but yes. Mm. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know necessarily if Lestat's. I mean, I wish that's great. I wish I did that, but but I think it's more important to like go back to when Lestat sees Louis for the first time. In our show, he sees him pull a knife on his brother. It's being a vampire is very hard, so you got to be able to have a level of ruthlessness in you. Um, and Lestat doesn't know anything about Claudia. When she turns up, she's, half dead already, and it's purely out of guilt. And she's too young for all intents and purposes. Lestat's never known a vampire turned that young before. It's told to him it's a very bad idea, and he's had a lot or some very intense experience of turning other people who should not have been turned into a vampire, and it that going very, very, very badly. So he has experience in this regard, and is incredibly painful. And to love somebody and to see them turn, to not be able to deal with immortality, basically. So that's more what he's trying to say is like this is going to go so badly, and she's going to have a shit life. I mean, horrendous life. And it's going to destroy you because she's going to live forever. There's no end to this. This is like it's like saying, like, a puppy's for Christmas. A puppy isn't just for Christmas. A puppy is forever. Well, this is like, a vampire fledgling isn't just for Christmas. A vampire fledgling is eternal. You'll be with the suffering forever. It's kind of like that. Um, the funny thing is that because he doesn't have any context about Claudia, he doesn't realize that actually she's probably the best vampire that could have ever been made. She is so capable. She's so ready to. And I think what we don't see is that, and we do start to get an inkling, and more and more and more is that, and particularly I think you get that sense of it when she dies and when he's there at her death, because she's so strong in her death. And I think that is that moment where it's like, I've really, I've really messed up, because this Claudia is probably my proudest, you know, thing that I've been a part of. She is the perfect vampire. And Louis is that who he thought was going to be the perfect vampire, has to go through this huge journey and is not, and he really struggles with it. He hates Lestat for what he's done to him. And then obviously at the end, then he's come to realize the power that it's given him, and he's found it on his own outside of the constraints of which Lestat's put him on to learn about it. But yeah. So I think in that scene, that turning, as much as I wish it was about Lestat going like, don't make her like me, don't make it. It's actually, it's not saying that. She's like, she's not going to be able to survive this. Also looking at Louis, because like he's not functioning very well either. Like he's not doing a great job either. So.